Welcome,
Welcome.
Housewives of True Crime,
Mm-hmm.
on
I'm on
location for the
location.
Gretchy. She's coming
What?
all the way from the Colorado.
Mm-hmm. State with the Great Rocky Mountains. That's right.
Ah,
If you're watching this on
okay.
YouTube, I have a fresh look today because I didn't quite understand the time zone situation.
She's going back to school.
Yeah. So today you're getting me fresh-faced in my camo jammies
Yeah, I
because
texted
that's as
Gretchen.
much as I could get it together.
She was like, wait, I thought I had another hour. I was like, I said Central Time, girl.
Learn something new every day.
You're on Mountain Time right now, right?
I don't know what time I'm
Oh,
on. I just
okay.
look at my cell phone.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay, so I have something funny to tell you about that happened to me this
Mhm.
week. And since I haven't talked to you because you're like, well, I have family in town and Gretchen has been driving across the country.
That's right.
But my dogs, they had to, well, I was petting Foxy. Okay. So there's a ton of squirrels around here
Mhm.
and they run after them, they get all in the weeds and whatever. And so, anyways, I'm petting Foxy the other day and I see like this black thing on her belly. And I'm like, oh shit, she's got a tick, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Now I see another one. I'm like, oh my God, my dog has ticks. So I
And
show
you
my
probably had a
mother-in-law.
freak out. Did you think, oh my God, now we're all going to get Lyme disease like Yolanda? It's the end of the world.
I kind of did, yes.
Yeah, that's because you're from California. I think like other people around the country know how to deal with ticks. Did you get schooled?
Well, I think you told me to light the tick on fire, right?
That's what I've done. Not
Yeah,
exactly light it on fire, but scare it out.
yeah, right. So like you take a match, it's like out, you can kind of burn its butt. I mean, I told Sean, I was like, I want to do that. Like we got to get these out because the vet was a couple days to get to the vet. He was like, no, not doing it. Not doing it. Just take the dog to the vet. We'll keep him kind of quarantined until we get to the vet. Don't let him sleep on the kids, beds. Okay. Get the dog to the vet. The vet comes out. You don't have to go in anymore. You just sit in your car,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
lovely. I
So
love it so
nice.
much.
Yeah.
I can actually like do work and not have to sit there. So, anyways, she comes out and she's like, so I didn't see any ticks on her. Um,
No.
but she does have black nipples.
Shut up.
They were her nipples. Yeah. The dog is like white. Okay. I didn't know.
Are you April Foolsing me?
No, I'm not.
Tabitha,
I, I know.
this is like when one of our friends went to she
Oh,
put a quarter in a gumball machine,
oh
y'all,
yeah.
and then spit it out and it bounced. Okay.
That is a true
She will
story.
never live it. That's a true story.
Yes, it is like that.
Tabitha,
I
that
know.
is, oh, oh my God. Okay. Wow.
I didn't want to tell you that before this.
Yeah, no, she did not tell me that part.
But she didn't know that my dog had ticks. But it didn't have ticks. So yeah, it has tits, not ticks.
Tits.
Tits.
Okay. Good. Good one.
One of
Okay.
them was kind of in the armpit. I was like, I didn't know the boobies go all the way up,
Okay, and in all fairness, I don't recommend the burning the tick out thing. Like I've done it when my dog had like one tick.
Well,
If you
thank
got
God.
ticks, you
Thank
need
God
a
I
whole
didn't.
situation. Try to
What?
burn her tit off? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah. 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 Okay,
So,
good. Well, you got some crime?
whoa, where's that mic going?
Rogue.
It's fine. It's actually. Oh no, it's called Rode. Rode mics going rogue. Yes, I do have some crime.
Mhm.
Are you ready for it?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. It's my week to talk.
Right.
How fun.
Yeah.
This week, I'm going to tell you about a few different people that are all connected by one guy over a span of many, many years. So I'm going to try to
Okay.
keep it real concise and clear for you, Gretchy.
I could use that.
Especially today. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I haven't had my coffee.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm going to take you back to the 70s.
Everybody take their ginkgo biloba.
Yeah. I mean, and care of.
Yeah.
Probably
I
comes in
do.
that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So, you know, the 70s, that's like when you were born.
You're such a bitch. Yeah, I know the 70s.
Not me.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. Well, there was this like drug loving hippie-ish dude. His name was Thomas Randolph. He looked like your typical mustache toting, long haired guy. If you
Randolph
can,
sounds like a rich person's name.
it
Like
100% does.
Asher,
How does
you know?
Asher sound like a rich person's name too?
Yes.
Yeah,
Those names are rich.
he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well,
and you know, you gotta like, he's got the mustache and the long hair.
mhm.
He was born in 1955. So by the 70s, he's like becoming a man. And he thought he
Okay.
was the man, if you know what I mean,
Mhm.
especially in Utah where he was living at the time. This guy had a way with the ladies. I don't know what it was. Like the long hair, maybe, but
That was it.
it was it.
Big
It was it.
stash,
Yeah.
side chops.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it. And I guess that was it for him because he married this woman, Catherine Thomas, right straight away. I mean, Catherine was 18 and Tom swept her off her feet quickly with his charm. They married, popped out a couple kids, and in a couple years, Catherine's like, mm, Tom's not rocking my boat anymore.
No?
Now, Tom got a little weird, let's just say, for her. And so she takes off, moves to Washington, and gets married pretty quickly to somebody else.
Okay.
And Tom, he moved on right quick too, because the same day that his divorce was finalized, he married wife number two.
Damn.
Wife, yeah, I'm telling you, something about this guy.
Cut him loose, move on. Okay.
So this lady's name was Becky Galt.
Okay.
Romance again, super fast one. I don't know if it wasn't the long hair anymore, or maybe it was the long hair, but this time he's sporting a mullet.
Oh, extra hot.
I mean, in the 80s, I think it was extra hot. You know, you got
Yeah,
the like business in the front, party in the back kind of thing.
that's what time it is. Yep.
And Tom liked to party. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Tom liked the cocaine kind of party.
It was a big thing in the 80s.
It sure was. He actually was working, I think, for a criminal defense attorney at one point, but the cocaine was his real love. And him and Becky started using it quite frequently to the point of they were addicted to it. Okay.
Okay.
They lost their jobs and got into more of that druggy lifestyle.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but I've had friends that are a little bit too obsessed with the cocaine also. And it takes a havoc on the jobs situation, right?
Yeah, it kind of wreaks havoc on the whole life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely does. So Becky actually became pretty depressed living this kind of lifestyle. And after a DUI, she was sent to seek treatment for her addiction, which I think was a good thing because she had met this counselor and she was dealing with her demons, as you will. And she decided to get her life together. She wanted to leave Tom because, quite frankly, I think Tom was the one, you know, shoving it up her nose. And he was on train to nowhere fast.
Okay.
At this point, Tom was actually a lowlife selling drugs, and I don't think he was even that good of a salesman because they didn't even have electricity in their house. And
Oh,
mind you,
damn.
they live in Utah.
Gets chilly.
Gets real cold.
Yeah.
Okay. Becky did not want this lifestyle, and I don't think anybody really does. But on one night, November 1986, Tom comes home after getting a DUI himself that day and found Becky tucked into her bed with tucked in to her bed with
Okay.
a single gunshot wound to her temple. Tom left the house and went to his dad's house to call 911 because, they don't have any electricity. So their phone's not
Oh,
working.
okay.
And reports Becky committing suicide. I mean, could life have been that overwhelming for Becky? She is a drug user. She's got to lose her husband. They have no electricity. Seems like a recipe for a pretty depressed life to me. And Tom claims that Becky tried to kill herself already once. So, yeah, it makes sense, right?
Right.
But maybe not. When the police got there, things looked a little fishy. Becky was lying in a waterbed in the dark because
Oh,
there's
water beds.
oh, I knew you were going to know about that waterbed, Gretchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have one? Did your parents have one?
My parents didn't have one, but yeah, I did. I don't know how we acquired one, but at one point my sister had one and then I inherited it for a while. Not that comfortable. Not sure why they were a thing.
I don't know why they were a thing either. Did your waterbed have a heater?
No.
So you slept on a cold waterbed? Are you
Yeah.
sure it didn't have a heater?
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember plugging it in.
You don't?
No.
So what I've read with this, because my parents had a waterbed, and I should have called my mom and asked her if the waterbed had a heater.
That seems very dangerous. Like, what if shit,
I,
like you got electrocuted? You're
I
like
don't know.
sucked into the water.
Dude, the whole waterbed situation seems real strange to me. I did a little bit of research in this, okay?
Okay.
Because it was a thing of the 80s and we had one. And I actually popped my mom's waterbed. I got real mad at her
What
one
were you
time.
doing? You
I,
popped it?
yeah, she sent me to my brother and I shared a room. And so she knew if she was going to send me to my room for like getting in trouble, like I was just going to go play with my brother, right? So she sent me to her room and I got one of her like brooch pins and I like popped it because I was pissed.
Damn, you've always been a brat.
So not, well, maybe. Then I felt really guilty and I went and told her. I was like, I just popped your waterbed. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's so bad.
It was just a little, just a little tickle of water. And people, I mean, that happened. I saw that also. Like you
Listen,
have,
every time you rent a place, you still have to sign a thing saying you will not have a waterbed.
who has a waterbeds
I know.
anymore?
I
Okay.
don't
So
know.
I also wanted to know, like, where did this come from? And waterbeds, by the way, in the 80s, they were called pleasure pits, Gretchy. And
Ooh,
supposedly you had better sex on the waterbed.
gross.
Yeah. I had a friend when I was 5 across the street, and her parents had a waterbed with mirrors on the ceiling above the waterbed.
Extra gross.
I know. I always thought it was weird, and then I was like, oh, now I know why they had that.
Mhm.
And there was a very popular waterbed brand called Wet Dream. Okay.
Stop it.
I'm
Stop
not,
it.
I'm not
You know what
kidding
is
you.
going to be the new like mirrors on the ceiling is like all the, you know, the
What?
parents have like a stripper pole in there. The
Oh,
kids are
right.
going to grow up and they're going to be like how we were like, oh, remember that friend's parents had the mirrors on the ceiling? They're going to be like, my friend's parents had a pole.
For exercise, okay?
Okay.
Only for exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so back to Becky in her cold water bed. I guess water beds did have heaters in them. I don't remember it. You don't remember it. But supposedly these police were like, she's living in a super cold house with a water bed that has no heater. So the water temperature in that water bed's got to be like 60 degrees, which
Oh,
actually sounds kind of dreamy for me. I love sleeping in cold and having like blankets, but
you
they were
freak.
they were saying that your body temperature, if you're sleeping on like a super cold waterbed, your body temperature is going to drop drastically also. So something
Okay.
just didn't seem real suspicious. Also, her hand was tucked in the cover with the gun. So it was kind of like if you shoot yourself, your hand probably falls,
Should be, yeah.
but it's not going to be tucked partially under the covers.
Right.
So when first questioned, Tom was like, I didn't touch her. I didn't move her. I didn't touch the gun. But by the second interview, the story had changed and was like, oh, maybe I
Mm-hmm.
did try to touch her to see if she had a pulse, kind of thing. The medical examiner did rule the death as suicide, but just after a couple weeks, when Tom collected over $200,000 in Becky's life insurance policy.
Oh, you don't have electricity, but you have the wherewithal to get life insurance.
Yes, and keep paying on that life insurance monthly.
Yeah, no, no, no. That's too no. That's adulting. And I don't think Tom would do that.
No, well, Tom did
Mm.
it. So it took a couple years, but prosecutors finally charged Tom with the death of Becky. Not only did they have that weird positioning and Tom collecting some cash, they saw that Tom was paying on multiple life insurance policies on Becky, totaling over $500,000.
Oh shit.
But he didn't pay his electric bill. But he
Yeah.
did pay that month those life insurance bills, which are not cheap either.
No.
Like you're paying, if you have multiple, that's like some coin.
Listen,
And
I don't
what?
there's no life insurance policy on me, and I'm priceless.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah. Because it's not cheap.
No, it's not. I know.
No.
And really, why would you need life insurance on a perfectly healthy, like 20, 30-year-old woman? It doesn't add up,
No.
you know? So police also were informed about an old friend that Tom and Becky had named Eric Tarantino.
Okay.
Eric actually comes forward and spills all the tea.
Nice.
Him and Tom used to be cokeheads together, and Tom dreamed of having this big blow business, like the real El Chapo kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he told Eric that he was over Becky and he would give him some cash if he offered her. And Eric thought about it. And Eric and Tom kind of planned it out, talked about it a lot, how they would kill her. Tom kept seeding Eric about it, but I don't know. Eric must have had some sort of like
Conscious?
conscience. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
which is nice because Eric told Becky about
Oh.
Tom's shenanigans. And after Tom, yeah, after Tom found out that Eric told Becky, Tom beat up Eric so bad he put him in the hospital for days.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So Eric, after he gets out of the hospital, he flees town. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm going to California. This is fucking crazy. And left that situation, right? Then
Well,
finds
Becky should
out,
have left too.
I know, I know. I think she was. So the counselor actually testified that Becky was on her way out. Like she was ready to leave him. But it is like, you have to think about it. It's so hard to leave when you have nothing. You have no money. Like, where are you going to go? The guy's selling Coke for probably like just to get them by food and whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So she probably just felt desperate and like she didn't know what to do, where she's going to go, getting herself together. Tom probably knows that she's out of there any second. And he's like, I got to off her before I don't get the insurance money, you know? So, with all this evidence and testimony, it didn't convince the jury that Tom was guilty and he was acquitted of her murder.
Balls.
Totally balls. Her mom goes and on the stand and was like, he is just going to do this to somebody else. You guys are making a bad decision. I mean, she's like, right. She's right. And I tried to rack my brain, like, why do I think that they didn't, even after this Eric guy comes forward and it's like, this is what happened. And the guy's walking away with $500,000.
Right.
Hello. I think it's because they were drug addicts. And I think people judge it. And it's like easier to just say, like, she committed suicide and that's it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that his defense portrayed like total character assassination on her.
Yeah.
She probably went through the ringer during the trial. Yeah.
Probably. So Tom is free and he quickly marries his third wife because, you know, he loves the women.
Yeah.
And he's $500,000 richer.
Mm-hmm.
So Gaina Alman, she's the next lady that falls for the skis bag. She marries him in just a couple months, but Gaina's one of the lucky ones. She's actually still living to tell about her experience with Tom. Their marriage did not last long. She knew about his past and she was always skeptical. You know, I think if I knew that he was on trial for murdering the ex-wife and calling it a suicide, I might also be a little on
Sleep
edge
with one
all the
eye
time.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she says that one day he's cleaning his gun at the dining room table and it spontaneously just goes off and not too far from her.
Oh, shoot.
So she's like, yeah, I'm going to leave this guy high and dry. I'm not waiting for the next gun to go off kind of thing. And she's even claims she sees him on the freeway one day and he's like chasing her to get her to pull over before the divorce was finalized.
Oh, shit.
She's like, hell no. Smart lady. I'm sure he had some money tied up with her, but Gaina was out of there. After Gaina, oh, and by the way, she says too that she's like, I went into hiding. I did not want to see this guy. He scared the bejesus out of me. So after Gaina, he goes straight away to wife number 4. Her name is Frances Rudolph. Frances had a daughter, and Tom took care of her with Frances. Seemed like a pretty good stepdad-daughter kind of relationship. He did all the right things to make the family a family. And since he had already lost a wife, he made sure to, you know, get some life insurance on Frances.
What do you know?
What do you know? And Frances's daughter says that Frances had a little heart surgery. Nothing to be distraught about. But to me, heart surgery, I mean, that's like...
Sounds major.
I don't care what kind of heart surgery you're having. It's like your heart.
Yeah.
But she comes out of recovery. She's in the hospital. She's fine, talking up, doing everything. The daughter's in the hospital room with Tom and her mom. And Tom says to the daughter, hey, I can't remember her name at the moment, but hey, so-and-so, can you give me some time with your mom? The daughter says, sure, leaves the room. Next thing you know, mom's dead.
Oh.
Walks out
with
of
the daughter still there. That
walks out of the room and claims that the wife just died due to complications with this heart surgery, I guess. And he has her cremated the very next day with no autopsy. I find this a little strange. I mean,
Oh, sus.
it's very sus. I will tell you, everybody that I've told this is like, no hospital would do that, da da da. But listen, that's not true. We know people that have worked
It's
in
not.
shady hospitals. No, like if a hospital thinks that it could be their fault by any reason, I'm not saying all hospitals. Listen, I think there's a lot of really good ones, but one of our friends
Yeah.
that works at a hospital or worked at a hospital was like, some things go on here that are not
Above
copacetic.
board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's no autopsy on her. They just said it was complications to this heart surgery. But I don't know. The daughter thinks, no way. Tom took her out because he gets life insurance again. He's in for the money. And by the way, okay, he has her do this this will, like a video will. It's super bizarre. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to leave everything to Tom. Tom's going to take care of my daughter because Tom takes care of everything like he does always. It's like, ugh. Like, I don't know. It's super weird, very sus. But there's nothing you could do about it. The daughter thinks that Tom is, responsible for her mom's death, but there was no investigation to that. So we don't know. But we go on to life number 5.
Damn. He's racking them up like
Oh
Larry
my God.
King.
I know, right?
Okay.
And he's got the money to do it, I guess. Like he keeps on coming up with some couple hundred G's every time. So wife number 5, her name is Leona Stapleton. There's actually not a lot known about Leona. I actually like that name.
I like that name too. I was thinking the same thing.
It's kind of exotic, right?
Yeah. Leona.
Their marriage did not work out either. They divorced pretty quickly, but Leona is also not here with us because Leona died of cancer. So I definitely don't think Tom had anything to do with that one. And when she died, she did not have any life insurance policies with Tom's name on them. So we're going to move on from Leona to wife number 6.
Shoot. Okay.
Can you imagine? 6 wives. Okay.
Yeah.
We are now in the 2000s, and this dude is still sporting his mullet. And marrying chicks
it's not
he just
hot
met.
anymore.
No, my God.
No.
By the way, it's also not hot when it's a gray mullet. Just saying. Okay.
No.
No.
The mullet died. I think on November or January 1st, 1990.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tom probably should have died with that mullet, but he didn't. I'm just saying.
I'm with it. Okay.
I'm with it too. Okay. So
keep going.
Now he meets Sharon Randolph. Sharon's no different than any of these other ladies. I feel like they all are attracted to this guy that is acting like they are the queen bee when actually he's like a narcissistic asshole. But he puts on the show to reel him in.
Very dirty John.
Totally.
Yeah.
So Sharon also has a daughter, but she's grown. And all of Sharon's friends thought Tom was real odd, but Sharon met him online and thought he was the bee's knees. I think that he brought Sharon back to her younger days with his rockin' haircut. He lives in Vegas, seems kind of like a cool guy. So Sharon moves out to Vegas to be with Tom.
Okay.
Tom starts hanging out with this guy named Michael Miller. Tom claims Mike was doing some handyman work for him, and he's paying him to help out
Okay.
in the house. Mike's cousin says, no, Tom was actually paying my cousin to sell drugs for him. I probably believe Mike's cousin.
Yeah, that sounds more likely.
Sounds more like past experiences of Tom. Tom likes selling drugs. Tom doesn't like to really work for his money. So one night, Sharon and Tom go out to dinner and a movie. And according to Tom, Sharon says, you know what, Tom, forget that movie. Let's go have some sex.
They couldn't have been married very long.
They were actually married for a few years at this point.
Oh,
So,
damn. Go Sharon.
so by the way, that's totally sus of me. Also, because do you know yourself or any other woman that's going to be like, oh yeah, let's just forego that movie and get home, drive it on down.
Depends on the movie. If it was an action flick, I might
I
put
know.
out to get out of, or like Star Wars,
Oh,
forget
for
about it.
sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd
It might have
much
been.
rather. Yeah.
Okay. So Tom drives home, straight home, you know, not stopping at Go, not collecting the $200. He's getting there because he wants some. He says he parks the car. He lets Sharon out first to get out, to go in the house and bring in the food. And he listens to some music while he's in the car before he gets out. When he gets out of the car, he walks in and down the hall. It's totally, completely dark in the house. He stumbles upon something that he thinks are Sharon's shoes that she always leaves in the hallway. He proceeds to turn on the light, and right in front of him, laying in front of the bedroom, face down, is Sharon.
Oh.
At this point, he is yelling, Sharon, Sharon, and starts to run to get his gun. He then brushes up against the intruder that just killed Sharon in the hall, and he says he just starts shooting. So Thomas shoots and shoots the intruder in a ski mask. And the guy in the ski mask is running towards the garage. In the garage, the guy collapses, and Thomas says he shoots him in the head. He then calls 911 to say that his wife has been shot and he has shot the gunman. The 911 operator is asking him some questions, and if I can find it, I'll insert here the 911 call. But he at one point claims that he knows the intruder. He says, oh, I know him, he worked for me.
But he was wearing a ski mask.
That's right, Gretchen, but he was wearing a ski mask. Mm-hmm. The 911 operator is like, you need to go do CPR on your wife. Like, go do CPR on your wife. And it's like he's skirting away from the CPR. And then at one point, you can hear him grunting and saying he's trying to flip his wife over, but he can't flip her over. I'm like, dude, she's not 500 pounds. Like,
Yeah.
she's a lady. Flip her the fuck over and give her CPR.
Yeah.
He's putting on a show, I think. Supposedly he gets her turned over and he says he's doing chest presses, and the 911 operator is like, you need to count the chest presses. Like, they're not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's making sure Sharon's fully dead.
Yeah.
Once police arrive, they start collecting the evidence and interviewing Tom, who's pretty animated and happy to give a full play-by-play of what happened. When he takes them back to the house to give the reenactment the next day, it's on camera. You can watch it. It's like he comes across like super cold. So there's a Dateline special on this. I think it's a 3-part series, which 3 parts for Dateline is a lot, but they have a ton of footage of this guy. I watched a few other things on him too and read a ton of stuff, but if you want like the full on, not 1 hour special that I'm giving you, and you want to see exactly how eccentric this man is, you can do the 3-part series.
Well, he's like a serial killer. He's killed 3,
He
right?
he is a serial killer.
Yeah.
So he is so animated and has this detail when he's telling them the play-by-play, right?
Mhm.
I don't believe that. Like, I don't
No,
think
no,
I don't think you remember it like that.
no. You do if you've rehearsed it in your head what you're going to say.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think if that actually happens where you walk in, first of all, Sharon would have turned on the light when she walked in. She wouldn't have walked through her kitchen to her bedroom in complete darkness.
Yeah.
So I don't believe the lights were turned off. Second of all, I don't believe she was like, Tom, let's fucking get to the honky tonk. No. And if that actually happened, your adrenaline would be rushing so much. Like there would be no reenactment. It would be like, I blacked out. All I know is I shot the guy and he kept running and I shot him
Yeah.
more, like it
Yeah.
wouldn't be like he brushed up against me here as I was turning on the light here. And I thought it was her shoes. So I was yelling, fuck Sharon, your shoes again. Like, no, not
Yeah.
happening. So what they did find was that there wasn't any blood splatter in the hallway of Michael Miller's, where supposedly he shot him a few times, right? No blood of
Okay.
Michael, no blood of Michael in the house at all. They did find there was blood in the garage where Michael was. They also did find that ski mask not on Michael. It was somewhere in the garage, close to him. But guess what? It did not have a bullet hole in it. So
Oh, so rookie.
that means that Tom shot him when he knew who he was, right?
Yeah.
So the police think it's fishy. They start looking into this a little bit more and they see Thomas's past history, the last time he was on trial for murder, and the plot seems real similar.
Yeah.
And you bet your bottom dollar that Tom was about to make a few hundred G's on Sharon
Of course he
because
was.
he had that life insurance.
Uh-huh.
So this is the crazy part. The investigator on this calls a producer. I don't know if the producer was Dateline at the time or just a guy that he knew that supposedly it was a Dateline producer that he calls and he says, hey, I got this really crazy case that we're working on, maybe something you're interested in. And so for like 10 years, this Dateline producer followed Tom around. And Tom is happy to give all the footage he wants. He's
Oh,
like,
because he thinks he's an untouchable because he's gotten away with it so much.
I think so. I
That's
mean,
interesting though, because we don't typically think that these, detectives are like kind of want their 15 minutes, but I bet they do.
I know it's really,
They're like, that's probably like the detective's wet dream is like
I
to
don't
be
know.
like on the Dateline, like,
Oh, yeah, maybe. I
yeah,
know. Isn't it
listen.
crazy? So,
Oh, and let me tell you from going to CrimeCon, yeah, people really enjoy the detectives.
oh,
They're hot
yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
They're doing well with the ladies at the bar. I mean, it's
Oh,
hot. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so Tom at one point in this footage says like his attorneys don't want him making these videos, but
Well, yeah.
yeah, right. And like he is he's such a skis. Like he loves it. He loves
Yeah.
being on. He is playing it up for the camera. the footage and the stuff that they have and the things that are coming out of this man's mouth are insane. He is the biggest self-admitted narcissist, okay? Which he says he is because he's so intelligent that intelligent people are just narcissistic. It comes with it. I'm just not so sure about that, Tommy boy.
Okay.
So, as investigators are trying to solve their theory, which is Tom met Michael at the convenience store, Mike is basically a druggie looking for a handout, and Tom knows the type. So, he grooms Michael by offering to give him some money for some work, starts hanging out with them. Tom gives him money to sell drugs. He's selling prescription drugs at this time, which is what, Mike's cousin said, that
Oh,
there
he's
was no
evolved from
handyman.
cocaine. Yeah,
Yeah, to
sounds about
prescription
right.
drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Tom says, hey, I'm going to make $100,000 off of offing Sharon over here, and I'll give you some of it if you take care of the deal. And sounds like pretty easy peasy to Mike. You're going to come in, you're going to pretend to rob us in a ski mask. Sharon's not even going to know who you are. We both make off with some money.
Yeah.
What Mike didn't know is that Tom already had this experience with Eric Tarantino. And what he learned from that was you got to off your accomplice because
That's right.
we need nobody to talk.
Yeah.
So while he's walking Mike out the garage, he offs Mike to get rid of any whistleblowers.
Oh my gosh.
So time goes by. And remember, Sharon has a daughter, an adult daughter. And Sharon actually gave her friend a will to give to Sharon's adult daughter if she ever passed away. And she left a lot to the daughter, the house, a couple other things. And Tom is furious.
Oh, I'll bet.
But this lady, she kept in good with the Popo the whole time. She gets her house. She gets an estraining order against Tom. Tom is an awful human being. He leaves her all these messages about how her mother didn't love her. I mean, just a real piece of shit.
Ugh.
But this woman did not break, and she even testified against Tom. It took years for that to happen, but finally they arrested Tom and put him on trial. The judge at the time deemed it okay to bring all that past evidence and Eric Tarantino onto the stand and his two living ex-wives who claim that he was a total douche and are not surprised that he killed any or all of his wives. Tom also took the stand, which I would not advise in his case.
Yeah, but he's a narcissist. They cannot
I
shut
know.
themselves up.
I know. That's totally him.
So let me just ask you one question. So was
Yeah.
he charged with both murders?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
So I think one of the first, if it wasn't the first day, one of the first days of trial, he comes in sporting his mullet with this long hair. And I'm talking like Daryl Hannah in Splash long hair. Okay.
Oh
Past
my
his
God.
boobies in pigtails. He's got
Should I start a criminal consultant business for your court look?
Oh my God. I
That is
know.
no good.
He
That's
looks
like Phil
oh,
Spector.
oh yeah,
No,
for sure.
thank you.
He
Oh,
looks like a old woman. Like an old, like weird, super weird. I'm going to put a picture of it
guilty.
on our stuff. The judge was so appalled. She was like, listen, you need to cut your hair and wear some decent clothes. So he did. He cut his hair.
That's awesome.
And then one day he comes in sporting a Tony Romo's jersey because he says he likes the Cowboys. And I don't know. He's in Vegas at this point,
Well, who
and
doesn't like Tony Romo?
I mean,
Okay.
everybody does. And who doesn't like the Cowboys? But he is in Raider Nation in Las Vegas. So I think when did the Raiders move to Las Vegas?
Well, you don't wear a jersey to court.
You
That's
don't.
not a good look. No, you
I
wear
mean,
a
what if
navy
you,
blue blazer.
yeah, no, not, mm-mm. He is out there. This man is like so out there. I have never seen something like it in my life, but he also openly says pussy on the stand.
Oh, well, we say pussy.
Are you gonna go
Not in
say
court.
pussy on like I wanted some pussy? I don't think
I
so.
don't like saying it. We don't say it a lot.
I don't think we ever say it. I don't even like that word.
No, I feel we don't like that word, but I do when we do say it, it's something like we put some inflection in it, like pussy. Like when I talk about how my husband can't drink ranch water because he's not that hardcore. He needs a little juice in his margarita. I call him a pussy.
Oh, okay, that's how you say it. Yeah, no,
Mhm.
I don't
No, it's not
I
the
can't
cutest word.
remember the last time I said it, but
Mm-mm.
whatever.
We
Like,
don't even say cunt. We say see you next Tuesday every time we
yeah,
want to.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he explains the reason that he's been saying pussy is because it's been around since the Middle Ages. I'm calling bullshit, Tombo, on that
Okay.
one. I just don't believe that. He also says in his TV recording that he wants to have oral sex with a lady judge.
Oh, I'm sure it just charmed the black robe right off of her.
I mean, she was signing up for number 7 wife. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
So when
Oh.
all that was said and done, this guy was found guilty and sentenced to death.
Oh, death.
Yeah.
Wow.
But let me tell you something. This past December 2020, the judge overturned his conviction, saying that it was not right that they brought all that past evidence from the previous acquitted trial.
I can see that.
And so I think he's going to get another trial where they're not going to be able to bring anything up of Becky. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be for sure harder to find a guilty verdict. Definitely not a death row verdict. I would
He's still
probably
locked
take the
up though, right?
he is still locked up, yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, he would have bail money, right? If he, maybe,
Yeah, because you know what? I think he
if
got
he
all the
didn't blow all
money.
those grants.
No, I think he got all the money from Becky's, or not Becky, Sharon, his last wife's policies because it took almost 10 years to go to trial. So I don't think they held up that money. I don't think so. I think he got it.
Oh, shoot.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy. He could
Yeah,
have been on the
so
apps,
what apps?
like the dating apps.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
sure
sure he
if it took
is.
that long, yeah,
Yeah.
he was on the app. So I'm glad he's
Oh,
in
I'm
jail.
surprised he didn't have another wife, by the way,
Right.
in that time. Yeah, so that's a whop on that Thomas Randolph. So you guys, there I would suggest, we all love Dateline, right? So just like
Yeah.
go watch it's
Yeah. Okay.
it's a pretty crazy one. I want to give a couple shout outs to people that shout us out.
Okay.
If you guys want, please tag us on your Instagram, tell your friends about us. We'll shout you out. Tag us on your Facebook. We love it all. The first one goes out to our friend that we were on her podcast. Her podcast is called Dialogue Pod.
What's up, Rebecca?
Rebecca. Yeah, she gave us a nice shout on the Shayna Huber's case this week. So thank you so much. Remember that case, Shayna? Whoa.
Yes.
And then, hold on. Don't you worry. I set myself up today. Lisa Alexandria, super cute, Disco Biscuit. Also, I wanted to shout out Lauren Collins. She sent us this really funny post. And it was actually for you, Gretchen, I think. Instead of the stimulus check, they could send out the people, hold on. It says,
Eat a dick.
it's a piece of
Stamp.
chocolate, and it's a piece of chocolate. Look like a dick. Okay, and then Amy Berwick, thank you so much. Jessica Kidd, also thank you. Kitty Simonson. Kitty Simonson. Her Insta is being Kitty. Thank you so much. And I think that is it for now. You guys, if you can, please give us a review on Apple Podcasts if that's where you listen. That'd be awesome. And do we have anything else, Gretch?
No. Check us out on YouTube. Join our Facebook group.
Oh, you guys. Yeah. Well, we also have a Patreon. Patreon.com/housewives. It's $5 and you get extra of us. And we're on YouTube. You guys, even if you don't watch us every week, would you mind just subscribing to us? That'd be awesome. Just click over.
You're so
Gretchen
shameless.
thinks I'm like such a whore, but
I like it. Somebody's got to be.
Secretly, she makes me do it. Whore myself out. No, you guys, it would just help us because, you know, we're trying to make sure Gretchen's fireplace stays on.
That's right.
It's the cutest backdrop. If you have not seen us on YouTube, this is the one to do.
I wish I could take this whole thing home.
I know. I'm in my closet. You can see my hangers there. But Gretchen is in the cutest. I just love it. I'm a fan. I like your background right now. It's my favorite so far.
Yeah. I'd show you the rest of the place, but it's in shambles right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't show us. Okay, well, clink, clink, guys. Thank you so much.
Clink.